All right. Well, you want to go ahead and move into your main topic?
Why the heck are cables this expensive? Can someone please answer that to me? All right, because maybe I was just very fortunate. I played guitar before COVID. Okay, got all my cables situated. I thought some were starting to go out. I'm like, oh, I need to get some more cables. And I looked at the freaking market, Casey. Have you seen cable prices?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, okay, we got some prices here down below. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We got a cue card here. But like a 10-foot Mogami cable, $75. Mogami's nice cable.
Yep.
Okay. 10-foot D'Addario Planet Waves, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is the one with the gold tip, so it's a decent cable. $60. I remember when I bought mine, the same exact like Planet Waves cable, for like $35. I know wire has went up. And it really hasn't come down that much. But why the heck are guitar cables this expensive?
Oh, those things are so expensive.
I know.
Colin has been yelling to the heavens about this for like 6 months.
Imagine being a new guitar player.
Yeah. They just buy the cheap cables. They just buy cheap cables, dude.
I know,
Yeah.
but like, if you want a quality cable,
Yeah, it's expensive.
you gotta fork it out, man.
Yeah. Well, Princeton now is expensive too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just like,
You're just an old man.
how did it jump this fast?
It just did.
I know grocery prices have went up,
Yeah.
okay?
Go buy a dozen eggs.
Don't get me started. But seriously, cables are ridiculous now.
Yep.
Everything's ridiculous, but cables especially,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
You know, cables went up a lot. I think a lot of amps have went up quite a bit. You know what I don't think has went up much? I probably shouldn't say it, but knock on wood. I want to thank all those pedal manufacturers out there. Because
Yeah.
I don't think that pedals, I think they took a 10, 15% bump up since all that stuff happened. But I don't think that they've made a big jump like some of these other things have.
Well, and JHS kind of put out something like that too. Like,
Yeah.
everything's went up, but their prices kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, Wampler, all those guys that are...
Healy.
Yeah, all their prices have been basically the same
Right.
for years. It's like Arizona Sweet Tea.
Never goes up. Man, you gotta love it.
So I think it does suck. I think they realize they can get that price out of it. Mogami cables have always been expensive. Planet Waves, I remember like the really high-end Planet Waves cables were maybe like $50, $55, you know, on the high end years ago. But yeah, I haven't had to buy cables, honestly, in a long time
Uh-huh.
because I bought really nice cables years ago whenever I was gigging, and they've lasted. Thank goodness.
I mean, a lot of mine have too, but like, I'm talking about my backups. The backups have went out.
Yeah, and it's every once in a while you got to refresh them and stuff. You start like thinking maybe you've got a little short in a cable. You know what? As soon as I think that, I test it like crazy. Obviously, if I can reproduce it whatsoever, I immediately toss it
Yeah.
because ain't nobody got time for bad cables.
No.
So you just got to fork it out. The other option is to build your own cable. Is to order some cable, order some ends, solder the ends, and kind of go from there. It's not that hard. All you need is a simple soldering gun, little solder station or something like that. And with a little bit of practice, I know you're not a guy that solders.
I'm not a guy that's very hands-on just in general with guitars. I go to him.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
I like the playing aspect,
Yeah.
not the fixing aspect.
I enjoy a little bit of that tinkering type of stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. And maybe I need to do a video explaining how I go through the process of building or soldering some cables. That
That probably would help, yeah.
might be a fun little thing. I can put it up on here, help some of you guys out, and you need to watch
I was
that.
about to say, I'll need to watch it.
So, yeah, they've went up for sure. It is kind of crazy how much they've went up, but I don't think they're going down anytime soon.
Like I said, I know wire has went up like crazy. I mean, you go to any retail store, they've had to lock up their wire because it's gone up so crazy.
Yeah.
But like, it's starting to get a little ridiculous. I mean, if I was a new player, I would be like, I can't afford this hobby.
Yeah, well, it is where it is. It is where it is. You buy cheap cables, buy lots of cheap cables.
I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not the type of person, though, also that enjoys the cable that's got super low capacitance to the point to where it's really bright and shrill. Actually, Guthrie was talking about this the other day. Guthrie Trap. Check out his channel if you haven't checked it out. But he was talking about him and Tom. They used these D'Addario cables, not the super high-end ones, but like the Stage series or something. I'll try to stick it up above the series I'm talking about. And he was talking about how it's kind of weird. I think he was talking to the guys at XTS. He was saying it's weird that these super low capacitance, ultra high-end cables, $150 cables that are out there, they don't like the sound of. And I think it is that like they have too much bandwidth and too much. Whenever we were listening to Hendrix and we were listening to these older guys,
Oh yeah, they didn't have the best of the best.
the best cable you could buy then was kind of like a mediocre cable today. A lot of them had coily cables, so it totally affects the tone.
Yeah.
And if you don't think it affects the tone, try a few different versions of it. It definitely does.
Or watch any Gearman Dude video
yeah,
because he swears by a white coily cable.
that's right. But no, it definitely makes a difference, and necessarily the highest end cable isn't the best.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Sometimes for the right application it is. But for me, I like a nice cable that's not going to break. I want reliability.
Yeah.
But I don't need it to be super low capacitance.
So the reason why I think I'm freaking out so much is I was looking at Monster cables. They haven't went up crazy since like the beginning of time, I feel like.
No.
Monster cables have kind of held true. And at this point, that's where I'm looking. I'm like, if I'm already spending the money, I might as well get a Monster cable.
Yeah, I
They
think,
do last pretty
I
good.
think for me, I'm a build your cable guy, or I'm a D'Addario Planet Waves cable guy for the most part.
I mean, I use, Monster or, well, it used to be Planet Waves.
yeah,
so.
it's the same company. But that is kind of interesting. Let's go ahead.